Hello, Georges.
Hello, Florian.
Welcome. Georges Lobo, you are the program manager for DGB2. DGB2 is the Interoperability and Digital Government Unit of the Directorate General for Digital Services of the European Commission. So, welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you today. And since you are the program manager of SEMIC being the action that we would like to talk about today, it's great to have you around. Let's maybe start with a simple, straightforward question. In one sentence, what problem does SEMIC solve for its community? How would you describe that in one sentence?
In one sentence, that's a challenge. I would say in one sentence, is to be sure that everybody understands each other.
And so how would you measure the outcome of how people understand each other?
I mean, the outcome is what we have been producing. So we produce, we call semantic assets, semantic data models, where we reach, it's a work with a community where we reach an agreement. So when we decide what we will release, what we will produce, publish, it's to ensure that everybody agrees. So it's how we govern our specification. It's with consensus based. So we have the people working with us, the experts working with us, saying, yeah, this is the right way to define things. Talking to vocabularies or application profile. This is how we could measure that that we have produced is okay, and as well the adoption of our specification, which is growing over the years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And who is using our applications? Who are we doing this for?
We are doing things for, initially, SEMIC was born for public sector, so it was mostly to agree on, let's say, the basic elements that you have to deal with the public administration. And if I talk first about what we call our core vocabulary, so it's defined what is a person, what is a location, what is a public service, what is an event, etc., and what is a business. So these are the core vocabulary. So it's an agreement around Europe to say, okay, this is how we would use. So the first use was, in fact, in the Commission systems. So with the different DGs saying, okay, we have to agree to define this type of entities the same way. So to be sure that you can exchange data, you can define, if you need to have a exchange. But as well, after is to have member states, because for them, public administration, if they use our assets as well, exchange also on cross-border, but as well with the Commission, because there are several reporting obligations, becomes easier. So they have less work, and we agree on the way we exchange data, and that's to say, the data have the same meaning for everybody. So.
All right, so public administration it is, but beyond public administrations, are there other community segments or part of our community that are mostly engaged? And SEMIC has been around for more than 10 years. Yeah. Why? What makes them engaged after 10 years?
First, I have to hope it's because we did a good work. There is a community. We have people who are here since 11 years. They have seen the benefit by using them, because not only we know that the governance of public administration is different from country to country, and sometimes it's also an enabler for them to be more interoperable within their country. So to break the silos between, you can find a different administration. So by adopting this common specification that works at EU level, but also can work at a national level, regional level. So it's really creating a link and to have easier flow of data between the different administration at EU level, and hopefully across sector as well. When we have the core information which is common, it's easier as well to ensure flow of data across sectors. And to complement, beyond sectors, I would talk about we call it our star or crown jewel, which is DKTP. If I may say a bit of history of
course.
DKTP. So DKTP is based on DCAT, which is a W3C specification, and we created this. I mean, the initial scope was to have an application profile, so to put some more constraints on this data model that was made for EU open data portals, so not only for our portal, but as well for national portals. And this, I have to say, this has been a success, which led, I mean, DKTP, one of these advantages is extendable. So we have seen over the year for certain mappings or certain extension giving rise in health that we helped create it. We have also recently we have mobility, so we are also touching beyond the borders of the public sector. So because mobility is industry driven, and health as well. I mean, it's a mix between private and public. So I mean, we see that DKTP has become very important use, and I could say that it became today a de facto standard when it comes to categorize data sets and catalogs of data.
But what made the difference? Was it governance or the guidance that SEMIC has provided, or the tooling, or really the community practices that were exchanged? What made the difference for the people?
I think what made the difference is at first, I mean, although SEMIC is led by the Commission, and it's the last letter is what matters the most. It's a C, it's a community. So it's a community effort. So it's something we could have not done without the expert from public administration, also researcher, experts in semantics, in data. So this is how we managed to get this success, because it was something that was driven, I mean, like in an open source project. I mean, I would, it's exactly the same way that you have a successful open source project when you have a strong community, people willing to contribute, and this we can also see on our repository, where people can comment, can propose change. So it's an effort, and it's not that we are saying we just let these comments, we take them into account. So we really engage people, and we have, I mean, this process, we have building webinars. And as well, I mean, we have now with SEMIC, it's called the support center. So it's also the support we give to people. So if people are interested, it's not only that just take it. If people are willing to to get support, to implement, they can also ask questions. I have some difficulties to implement this particular thing. Can you help us? So we provide support for that. When it comes to extension, we have also different levels of support. We can help co-create this extension. Of course, this always involved, because we are not specialists, for example, in a particular domain. We need the expert of this domain to agree on definition. And this is how we have been managing all our work. And I guess this was make the part of the success. It's the community and having people supporting us and to make these things happen and implementing them.
So, thank you for all those points. It's very interesting. If we look at some formalization that is maybe happening today, how do Sensenelec and ETSI activities, how do that support DKTP recognition and governance today?
I think, I mean, it came, I mean, there is, we cannot say because it's an ongoing work by ETSI. So this work is linked to the standardization request made by the Commission, linked to the Data Space and the Data Act. When in the standardization request, which is a form of recognition, it was asked to the European Standardization Organization to take namely into account what we did on DKTP, also GeoDKTP, and as well the core vocabulary. So I mean, the fact is that there is a sort of mandate that to this standardization organization, you need to formalize the use of the specification for data space, but you have to take into account what's happening in this community, particular SEMIC. So it was already a big achievement. Next year we will see what happens exactly on that front. But there is a good hope that we will be successful in that.
And more generally and in practical terms, talking about data spaces, how should a team be responsible for data space today ensure semantic interoperability in the best manner possible when across their data products and when building their data space?
I mean, first, I would say the first thing is to get the knowledge. I mean, because the data space, I mean, you have certain data space which are very focused. So there, I would say, even if they are quite focused, they imply a lot of actors. They enter in standards that are used in industry, especially when you are working, I mean, in the private sector where it's standardization and specification is mostly led by industry practices. And I would say the first is to make a sort of inventory of what exists, all the data models, not only the data models, but as well how you represent the catalogs, I mean, what type of data, so to characterize the metadata on the data using data space, to make them discoverable, because I mean, it's just a thing that's just to expose data, you have to tell the people. And of course, as you mentioned, data products, I mean, you want to have certain income generated on this data that you provide if they are not free. So to have the right description to ensure that, I mean, people across also, not only in your data space, but across data space are able to access them. And I think it's as well to build, and after it's within a data space, is to reach a certain agreement, so such as working together to arrive to certain definition that we need to agree to have a sort of semantic repository, and eventually to build some harmonized data model or metadata models that would help to make better use of the data.
Such as the KDP or
exactly,
more core vocabulary.
Yeah, the core vocabularies are an element. Of course, it's not, we don't have the ambition or the arrogance to say we will cover everything. We will cover a certain part, what we're good at. And but I think it's also the practice that we have been developing to reach with these agreements. We are doing also some works, I would say, on standardization in the context of once-only technical system, where our job is mostly to get the people around the table to exchange what the data we need to exchange on the once-only technical system, what is essential. So it's a lot of, I would say, human work. It's not that technical. It's really to reach to a consensus, to have everybody around the table saying, yeah, this we understand, we agree, and this is the definition we will adopt.
Talking about the fact that SEMIC cannot be everywhere, you know that that's then a problem of scalability, and you know that we have been through SEMIC elaborating and exploring on AI for semantics in the past 2 years. How would you look ahead and say in 12 to 18 months, what would be the situation of SEMIC, or where could SEMIC support in order to improve the scalability through the usage of AI for semantics?
I mean, AI, I would say for the AI for semantics, we need to have the right data. I mean, the LLMs, they are providing, I would say, they are wonderful instrument because you can discuss like with a human. You can, it can really analyze, I mean, amounts of data that we're not able. But I think where AI can help on semantics, but it means linking to what I was saying before. I mean, if we take a data space, you will have, I would say, certain data space. They have thousands of different data models. We saw this morning, for example, a presentation of the Green Deal data space that touch, I mean, a very large group of domains and with different data models. So there you might find, I mean, thousands of different data models. Where AI can help to agree, to find, I would say, to do the big work, to eliminate, to try to find, to make proposals. I still think that in the end, the experts should be the one to choose the right definition, but AI can, with this power, instead of having humans analyzing, I mean, these thousands of data models, that AI can really help with the help of LLMs to do that. I think that as well, I mean, going beyond your question, I think that also AI, I mean, semantics technology can help AI to get better. Because as you know, I mean, everybody knows that LLMs, they are, I mean, say, statistical systems, and where there is still the issues of hallucinations, to have also deterministic, meaning that if you ask twice the same question, that it should give always the same answer. And I think these links as well the fact that semantics technology, having, for example, using knowledge graphs and what we call graph rack to put some constraints on the answer, on meaning, forcing the meaning of certain things, that would help to have AI to be more precise. So, and to improve. So for me, it's a mix of two. And I would say maybe as a last point, but maybe you don't need to include it. I mean, the thing is that also coming from the public sector perspective, why if you're a private company that you serve 60% of the population, it's a good achievement. And if as a customer you're not happy, you change company. When it comes to public sector, government, you have to be precise. You have to serve, because the citizen cannot change who is dealing with, and the decision that takes the public administration, whether it's AI or not, must be fair, equitable. I mean, must be guided by public values, also of transparency. And this is where I think we should also put the focus. And I think on our side, it's why in interoperability side and digital government, it's important for use of AI, and in the public sector is important to ensure that the public values are not jeopardized by the use of AI.
Yeah. Thanks for very interesting points, and that actually brings us to already our last question. Yeah. If you could leave the SEMIC community with one single call to action for the next year, what would that be?
For the next year, I would say the first idea would be first join the SEMIC community on the Interoperability portal, because this is where you will be informed what happens, and after there will be more to come, because we will call for pilots, we will call participation to projects, we will call for when we review our SEMIC specifications, we will review when we do our studies, etc. So join the SEMIC community and you will be aware, because we need the expertise, we need the people, because SEMIC is nothing without the community behind.
Thank you very much, Georges, for the time. It was really inspiring.
Yeah, thank you, Florian. It was a pleasure.